My name is Pieter Busscher, Senior Portfolio Manager with Robeco SAM. Yeah, smart materials is really about an innovative way to play the resources theme. So we've looked at some of the long-term trends in the sector and really see that there are two key drivers: substitution of materials and efficiency gains. And smart materials is really trying to give investors exposure to this human ingenuity, decrease the volatility and increase the opportunities for investors in the resources space. Yeah, so Robeco SAM is really the expert on sustainability investing within the Robeco Group, and we've been on the one hand supporting really the Dow Jones Sustainability Index since 1999, and at the same time also when we look at thematic investing, we've been pioneering thematic investing, sustainable thematic investing with our water strategy since 2001, and since 2006 also with the smart materials strategy, where we're trying to give investors exposure really to sustainable megatrends and the opportunities that they present for investors. The philosophy really and idea around smart materials is really giving investors exposure in general to this human ingenuity, and that really based on a fundamental investment approach. So we're selecting really fundamentally those stocks that give the most attractive exposure into that, and help investors really benefit from structural changes. For instance, the growth that we see in electric vehicles, or trends in automation, for instance. I think smart materials really is an interesting strategy at the intersection of technology and materials, and we're really seeing that as technology is starting to have an impact on the resources world, this is creating a whole new set of opportunities that traditionally isn't really captured by investments in general, and particularly also by other technology funds. Technology is obviously associated with a lot of change, and definitely compared to other industries there is more change, and the pace is faster. For us, that's certainly an opportunity, because we're looking at those technologies that have become competitive, that are viable, and can gain market share in traditional industries. So for us, technology and change in general is a positive, and we're trying to get exposure in these areas ahead of others. So those disruptors that come into markets, such as cutting and welding, for instance, in lightweighting in automotive, these are the companies that are growing very quickly, and we think change is positive for the strategy. In the theme, really what we're seeing in 2018 so far is automation is playing out very well. That continues to do well. We've seen the same in 2017, and we're basically seeing that more and more companies are deploying automation. It's growing out of just the traditional automotive fields into more general applications. We're seeing that software is actually gaining a lot more momentum as well, and we think that other industries, such as construction, for instance, will adopt it a lot more. So from the overall universe, we basically narrowed that down based on certain clusters and subclusters, so really more specific areas where we're talking about energy storage materials, where we're talking about certain types of lightweight materials, for instance, carbon fibers in aviation. And what we're doing there is really we see what are the order trends, are the dynamics, are we convinced that this is exposed to significant growth over the next couple of years. And then we really do bottom-up analysis, go through the value chain, and that's really how we pick the individual stocks. So we're looking at the bottom-up analysis that really then, in the end, has the major influence on which stocks will be in the portfolio.